Hey everyone, we've got a new pack today, London Derby pack. We've got some Arsenal and some Chelsea players. We'll do a quick review of them. So we'll get into it, starting with Wesley Fofana. Fofana, just a solid centre back, really, 92 rated. I wouldn't do much with the auto allocation of his points. You can see down the middle, he's pretty strong defensively, some good stats there. Pace is decent for a centre back. Stamina's decent. Pretty average down the left on the ball, but the one concern for me, he's got great leap on him, but his physical contact isn't the best. Heading only 75, so a little bit iffy in the air. He's going to win some headers if he's, especially if he's not got anyone too physical getting up close to him. But if there's someone like a Haaland, someone who's like a Collar or like a big physical, strong striker, he might get caught out in the air. Decent set of skills, could do with one or two extra ones, but you've got some of the core ones for a centre back there. Yeah, ultimately, a fairly solid centre back. Slight question mark in the air. If you're a Chelsea fan, you're probably going to really like this, but otherwise, I'm not sure he's going to get into many people's teams at this point, unless you're new to the game. And then next up, we have Martinelli. Martinelli, wide left. Interesting one because he goes to 93. Rapid, really good on the ball. You look down at his skill set here. He's good on the ball, but first time shot and outside curler. In terms of end product, that's what this guy really offers you. First time shot and outside curler. So if he can only play wide left, you're basically going to be looking to use this guy to cut inside from the left and get into positions in the box to get a shot, to get a shot in, a finesse shot into the far corner. And if that's the case, finishing 72 is a big concern for me. So I'll be looking at maybe he's trying to rework his stats a little bit. Passing, if he's not got through passing, he's not got crossing, I don't think you really need a great deal on his passing. I don't think there's much point. Let's take a couple off there. He could lose a bit of that pace. He doesn't need to be that quick. Dexterity as well, if you want him getting into those good attacking positions from the left-hand side. We'll get that up onto the 80 mark. Finishing here, stick that up, 77. Can we get that higher? Take a couple more of his speed. 79. We need one more. Take one off his dribbling. Take two off his dribbling, actually. Now he gets finishing up to the 80 mark, and we got one more. Where are we going to put that? We'll stick that back on passing. Yeah, that would be my build in Martinelli. So now, offensive awareness at the 80 mark, finishing at the 80 mark. Still good on the ball, great dribbling, and he's still got really good pace and he's got good balance. You want to make the most of what this guy's got. The first time shot on a long range curler, he's it could be a useful option, I think, especially for Arsenal fans. It could be really a fun player for you to get, but if you don't want that, if you don't use players as wide forwards coming inside for those kind of, the long range curlers and so on, getting into shooting opportunities in the box, then I'm not sure he's really going to get in that many people's teams. But if you do like him, certainly a pretty good option for you. Zachariah next. This guy's interesting because he's very popular. You quite often hear people in the player base talking about how they love this guy. A lot of people say he's their first choice DMF. He is good. He goes to the same level as the previous feature version of him from the last Chelsea pack. For me, he's good down the middle as defensive stats, and he also looked down at his skill set. I think one of the best things with this guy is his skill set. He's got interception and blocker. Fighting spirit's important because his stamina's not the best. We'll look at that in a second. One touch pass and weighted pass, that's useful. Heading as well. He's got some good shooting stats, but with finishing 60, I'm not sure you're going to really get much out of that. And especially if we get back to his stamina, for me personally, he's an anchor man. I'll be thinking you want to put the defensive instruction on him, stop him running around too much, because that stamina you could get found out. So again, with the shooting, I don't think he's going to be really getting into many shooting positions for you either way. But yeah, auto allocation, I don't know what I would change because the defensive stats, they're good, but you don't really have much scope for taking points away from them, putting them elsewhere. And when you look elsewhere, you kind of need some because on the ball, he's not got the best technique. Passing, again, a lot of people think that's okay. You know, everyone's got their opinion. For me personally, in the middle of the park, I can't have someone there with only 80 for passing. You're going to be giving the ball away. It's a question of where you're going to take the points away from. You get one off the area when you've still got the 70 mark and the 85 for physical contact. Defending, you could knock maybe one off there. Give him a little bit more stamina. And then what you're going to do? There's just not really many points to come from anyway. You don't really need much dexterity. You can maybe get rid of all of them. But it's passing up one, it's dribbling up one. I'd probably do that personally. He's a bit tidier on the ball there, but yeah, I think if you're one of these people, and there seem to be a lot who really love this guy, I bet you'd be really buzzing if you spin this guy. But for me personally, brilliant skill set, some good stats, but just a little bit of a concern over some of them. That stamina, he could get found out, and he's not great on the ball. So it could be brilliant for some people, but not for everyone. Ramsdale. Strange goalie stats for Ramsdale. 5-star keeper. 83 for goalkeeper awareness. For a 5-star keeper, it's not the best. Catching and parrying a little bit iffy. Reflexes are pretty good. Not outstanding, but pretty good. Reach is the one stat where he really excels. 92 for reach is fantastic. He's going to cover a lot of the goal, and that makes him pretty strong for those finesse shots into the far corner. Good jump as well. So he's reachy. He's going to reach a lot of stuff. He's going to cover a lot of the goal. But yeah, just a little bit unsure about the goalkeeper awareness there. There's not a lot you can do with the point allocation. Played with it earlier. I think all I could really maybe is do, if you took 2 off here, parrying's still a bit iffy. The reach at 90 stays excellent. You can get 1 more in his awareness, and you got 1 left that you could put in your play style maybe. It's really not too different though. It doesn't make a huge amount of difference. He's still got a couple of stats there that are a little bit iffy, and 84 for awareness. I think the stage we're at, most of us have been playing the game a while now. We've got better keepers. There are a lot of keepers around now who are just better options than Ramsdale, to be honest. So he's not bad. He's just not perfect. So if you're an Arsenal fan, could be a really good option for you. Otherwise, I don't think many of us are going to be too excited to get Ramsdale. Gabriel, similar to Fofana, there's not an awful lot to say about him. He's just a solid centre-back. You look for his attributes. Good defensive stats down the middle. His speed, acceleration, stamina, and his physical and aerial stats, they're all just pretty much what you would expect for a centre-back. There's nothing out of the ordinary there. The one thing I'd say with Gabriel, he's a little bit lacking with skills. He could do with maybe his blocker, acrobatic clearance, fighting spirit. You know, there's a few defensive stats that I would like to put on him if I got this guy. But on the whole, just a solid centre-back really, and not really anything more to say about him. Kai Havertz, one of the best players in the pack for me. Really interesting, hole player, SS or MF. He's basically someone to play in that hole behind your striker or his strikers, depending if you play 1 or more strikers, and to make some really good attacking runs, get into good positions to shoot and to pass. You see the offensive awareness is really good, brilliant on the ball. Passing could be a bit better. Finishing's very good. And over to the right, decent speed. His mobility is okay for a big guy. In terms of his point allocation, I'm looking at his dribbling, his control. It doesn't need to be that high. I'm going to maybe take a few off there. Shooting at 82. You could take 2 off and you still hit the 80 mark. And then get his dexterity up to the 80 mark, acceleration up to the 80 mark, and his balance up to the 80 mark. And you've got 4 points left. Stick him straight on passing. For me personally, that's a better build. Got great offensive awareness. His mobility is that bit better. You've got to keep in mind this guy's 6'2". He's a pretty big dude. So having a bit extra balance and acceleration, I think, is going to make a difference. And yeah, like I say, down the left, we've now got 84 for low pass, 80 lofted pass, still got 80 for finishing. Still good on the ball. Really tidy options of playing that hole behind your strikers. You look down at his skill set here. He's got first time shot, rising shots, long range shooting, long range drive. So he's got really good shooting ability, acrobatic finishing as well. And then he's got 1-touch pass and through passing as well. So he's got bags of end product. He's got the intelligence. He's got decent mobility for a big guy. And he's got good passing. Could be a really, really useful player to have if he fits into your system, playing behind your attack. Really tidy, and you could put extra skills on him and maybe stick heading on him or something. He's quite a tall guy, and he's got acrobatic finishing as well. That's decent from crossing. So yeah, if he's someone who fits into your system, could be a really good player to have. Another Hull player, Mason Mount. Now, he's a bit different to Havertz. He's not a big guy. The one concern I got with Mount, when you look down at his skill set here, he's tidy on the ball. He's got through passing, weighted pass, low lofted passes. He's got a really lovely pass on him, but he doesn't have one-touch pass. I would really try and get the one-touch pass skill on him using skill trainers, because he's not physically strong and he's not particularly quick either. So he's not going to be releasing the ball quick enough sometimes, and that concerns me. I can see him getting caught out in possession sometimes, trying to get your passes away. But if you can deal with that, he's got lovely passing. So he could be a really useful player for you. It's just a question whether he fits the way you play. Because like I say, he could get caught in possession quite easily. Not sure what I'd really change with his stats. He doesn't need that much on dribbling. And if you need a bit more speed, which you do, you could just do that. Stick that straight on his speed. Tidy. Maybe take a couple off there as well. Even more speed on him. One off shooting there. There. Then you get speed up to the 8 mark, acceleration 80, balance 82. 92 stamina is great, so he'll run and run all day. Got a bit more mobility on him now. Offensive awareness 80, good on the ball, lovely passing. Yeah, if he fits the way you play, very nice. Just be wary of the fact that he's not got one-touch passing and he's not the strongest. If you can deal with that, especially if you can get the one-touch pass skill on him, could be a really useful player for you in the middle of the park. And finally, Odegaard. He's the highest rated in the pack, goes to 96. Creative playmaker. The one thing that immediately stands out to me, that speed 73, that scares me. He's a bit slow. He can play wide right up here, you see on his position chart, but I don't think you want someone with that little speed playing out wide. He's going to be very much a number 10, I think, playing in the AMF position. You look down at his skills, long range shooting, through passing, pinpoint crossing, that's what you're looking at. He's got great end product. Like with Mount, he doesn't have one-touch pass. And again, not the quickest, not the strongest, so you got the same concern. You might want to try and stick one-touch pass on him. I would really try and do that. And in terms of the way he's built here, I think you've got to kind of play around a bit here. Can you lose a bit from here and free up some points? Yes, you can, for sure. I'll get a shooting up to 75 there because he's got long range shooting. And then what have we got left here? Stick all that on low body strength. So his speed is the 77, still not brilliant. You got 1 point spare there. You can stick that on a play style. Yeah, if you can deal with the fact he's not the quickest or the strongest, and especially if you can put one-touch pass on him, you know, he's otherwise got decent mobility, brilliant on the ball, brilliant passing. He's got great end product, so he could be a really good playmaker for you in that AMF position. And that's all of them. So there you go. Hope you found that useful. Thank you as always for watching. I will see you next time.